Facebook post a little over a week ago from Brandon Sheppard caught my attention, and I think it illustrates an interesting place we've gotten to, at least in dirt late model racing. We know that across big-time dirt racing, there's a serious lack of top talent in the crew department, and I think especially at crew chief. There are really only a handful of names that I think even seasoned dirt racing fans would know when it comes to crew guys, and finding help is an ongoing problem. If you want to compete on the national stages, that means understanding how to set your race car up, and finding speed is getting more and more difficult. So if you don't have a top level crew chief guiding your operation, what do you do? Well, there are some options out there. The post I am referring to from Sheppard was about the creation of his Shep Speed Shop. Shep obviously back to being the rocket house car driver these days, but he does have a complete late model operation of his own, including crew guys. We saw them this past weekend when the Sheppard Racing B5 made its way to Smoky Mountain for the World of Outlaws Late Model Series races. That B5 team, as we've talked about, will also appear at several other races through the end of April, and there's other races on the schedule for the rest of 2025. But when that team is on the shelf, they are now available to hire as consultants. Shep Speed Shop is offering services to other late model teams, including race car checkups. You can scale your car with them. They're going to help you with body and sheet metal work and help with setups on a week-to-week basis. These services open to rocket chassis teams only. That shouldn't be surprising. This consulting idea, though, obviously not a new one, and there are a bunch of other options out there for help depending on what type of car or components you have. For example, Vinny Giuliani, who was previously a crew chief and engineer across the sport, he's a past guest on Dirt Tracker Conversations from a couple years ago. He's available for Longhorn Chassis and Bilstein teams. He currently consults for drivers like Kate Dillard, Trey Mills, Mike Marlar, Tony Jackson Jr., Brian Shirley. You see him in this photo on the screen talking to Kyle Bronson. And you can also go straight to just Longhorn Chassis these days, as Matt Langston and Joe Matthews in the Longhorn Dynamics division, they're available to help get teams squared away. They actually have their own part of the building there in the Longhorn Chassis campus. And we've talked previously about the added help that Hunt the Front is getting this season from Talon Center. These consulting groups and guys, they're fully specced out. They have their own spring smashers and shock dynos, their own shops, many travel. Vinny and Talon obviously will meet you at the racetrack. And with Shep's deal, you can actually bring your car to them. You can bring your car unloaded in their shop, and actually the photos that they shared in the post, that's exactly what somebody was doing. So you get to take advantage of their facility. So if you don't have an Anthony Burrows or a Bob Pierce or Mark Richards or a Jason Durham potentially at your disposal, you can still get top-level help, but for a fee, obviously.